Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the Invincible Season 3 finale. Uh, this was a great episode of television, and I really enjoyed this season of Invincible overall. But this episode really brought everything kind of to a great place to stop the story for now, with the big fight between Conquest and Invincible, as we kind of saw it being set up. The world's in shambles for multiple reasons that have been going on through the season. And then, of course, this episode not only does it kind of finalize this arc in Mark's life, but it also sets up a few things I will probably see in upcoming seasons. Um, I think one of the things that I did notice was that at least for the big fight, the animation really stepped up. It really felt more dynamic, a little bit more fluid. Like it felt different. Sometimes the character models are a little bit static, but like in this one, you could see like Invincible's hair flowing in the wind, and like especially when there was like close up of the characters, like there was a lot of detail. We get to see some really cool evolutions of some powers. So yeah, this is great. I'm gonna get into spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the finale, make sure to go check it out. We also have in the channel, or will have, another video where I take a look at the trailer for the Battle Beast one-shot comic that is coming out from Image Comics in the future. So make sure to go check that out. It's probably a short because it's a very short video. But either way, we begin with Conquest versus Invincible. Jeffrey Dean Morgan does just his characters are always just so intimidating, and Conquest is no different. Like Conquest is probably, I would like to think that he's maybe one of the strongest Voltrumites, and that's the reason that he was sent to do the job. But his performance, his voice performance, is just like daunting. It's like all his worst characters kind of put together in one, this big blender. Yeah, so really goes all out. So shout out to Jeffrey Dean Morgan for. I'm sure he loves to work with Robert Kirkman in his projects, and he's just such a great addition to this voice cast. Will he come back? I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned for that. So after this brutal fight, Invincible is taking a pounding because Conquest is just super strong. Like he's too strong, and then he also has the advantage that there are people all over the place that he can hurt. They do the thing again where uh, Conquest just flies Mark through the city, and he starts inadvertently killing all these people because they're just kind of in the way. Like Mark and Conquest, as they fly by all these people, they just kill them. They destroy cities. They go all over the place. So Oliver joins the fight, but this time he does have Deb's blessing. Like Deb tells him, like, here's what you should do. You know, stay quick. You know, get away from him. Um, this is kind of where, like I said, in the fight, in my notes, I noticed that the animation really stepped up. Eve wakes up from the hospital with her parents, and she decides that she has to go help Mark. She still has a broken leg though, but you know she makes like a makeshift cast with her powers. Um, After the big fight, Oliver is kind of taken out. Uh, he's almost ripped in half by Conquest. Like, and it's interesting because like his people are originally kind of like bug people, and I thought that's what's gonna happen. Like it's just kind of like he gets ripped in half, but because he's kind of like half bug, half Voltrumite, maybe he could still go on. But that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, they did not rip a child in half in this episode. Cecil does eventually come get him and take him to get healed. Um, Eve steps up and she kind of goes like a next level versus Conquest. She uses all her knowledge of like everything she could do to an organic matter, to try to take him down. But ultimately, Conquest is too strong. He ends up breaking her leg, and then like he puts his fist through her abdomen, and he breaks her jaw, and then yeah, it's really bloody and graphy and gory, like this show always is. Invincible thinks that she is dead, and this causes Mark to like really lose it. There's a really cool scene where they both punch each other, and Invincible breaks his hand, and Conquest, like his I think it's like a fake metal hand that he had on there, it breaks as well. Um, and then Mark just like he's about to die. He can't take on Conquest. But we see that Eve evolves to the next thing, and this is explained a little bit later. But she she uses like this gigantic beam, and she flays Conquest, like all like a lot of his skin comes off, and then Mark uses that advantage to finish him off just by headbutting him over and over, because both of Mark's hands are broken at this time. So it turns out when we see this, when we know that Conquest is down and out, at least uh, we think that, but that's kind of revealed maybe not to be the case later on, um, because Mark pretty much split his head open. But Eve can manipulate organic matter, but as a baby, some mental blocks were put on her so that she wouldn't, because she would be too powerful if she could, just manipulate organic matter. So only in times of like big stress, like her potentially dying, she's able to use those powers. So we see Rex Explode's funeral, which is very touching because obviously a lot of people had a big relationship with him. We see Ray there, not very close to everyone. She's a little bit off to the side. Of course, Eve, she's trying to say some words because her and Rex were an item for a long, long time. Um, we also see that when Eve and Mark, after the funeral, they go back to Mark's home and they're about to have some sexy time. Eve takes Mark clothes off using her powers, but then when she puts them down, the camera zooms in on the clothes and there's like some kind of like glowing goo. So maybe this is a side effect, or maybe this is something else. So this is the part of the episode, like as we get to kind of closing things out, where they start to seed a lot of things for next season, or even just the future of the series. We also see that those the starro-like creatures that take control of people are kind of back, and they've been hiding underneath on the underground. So I'm sure we'll see them again next season. The battle beast is found in space after killing the Voltrumites he was fighting. Um, Levy and the technicians are looking for a new world, and then Conquest it seems to be alive and kept in an underground gigantic prison by Cecil, because it looks like the guy that makes the robots has been using the dead bodies that the other Invincibles left behind to make stronger robots. I forget what they're called, dead men maybe. Um, the reanimin, yeah, he's making some reanimin made out of the bodies of the dead Invincibles. So but it looks like Cecil wants to keep Conquest on the ground so that he can question him whenever he comes to. I don't know how he's going to come to, because it looked like his face looked like it was completely opened up. But either way, and then after the initial credits, we do see that Dark Blood. So Clancy Brown is back voicing Dark Blood, who is trying to find a way to restore his master to the throne. So that'll probably be another thing we get into. So poor Mark, he can't catch a break. Uh, this season really made me think, like, why didn't the Earthlings just like vote Mark off the planet? Like everything bad that's happened is because Mark lives on Earth. But then I guess they wouldn't have a protector for internal threats like that. So yeah, great season, great stuff. I'm very excited. I really enjoyed the season. I don't think it was perfect. I think actually had a lot of things that I wish they had done a little bit better. But the story's pretty bonkers, which I really enjoy. I love the little montages with music and like just kind of like really digging at the emotions. I'm very sad that Rex is dead, but this is a comic book property, so like Rex is probably not dead all the way. Like there's got to be a way they bring Rex back, or some sort of version of Rex. We know the multiverse is out there. We know that there's time travel in this. So yeah, I would not be surprised to see Rex next season. Not only because I love Jason Mantzoukas and I love that the portrayal of Rex that he's giving us, but Rex is just such a fun character to have on the show, and it'd be a shame to not see him again. So if you enjoyed this season of Invincible, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.